Hi guys, and thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Today's video will be a short one, but I wanted to talk about my initial impressions of Be My Angel. And spoiler alert, this is one of those shows where my feelings are a little complicated. I'll start with this. I don't love it, but I also don't hate it. So because of that, this won't be a review about whether the series is good or bad, but more about why it didn't fully click for me, even though I can clearly see what it's trying to do and who it's trying to do it for. I'll be talking about the pros and cons and my expectations going in, and I also really want to expand on representation because that's honestly one of the most interesting parts of this series for me. Before pressing play, I was honestly pretty excited, mostly because of the sci-fi fantasy elements. If you don't know, sci-fi is my favorite genre in TV and film, and I'm always up for seeing how creators put their own spin on the genre. Story-wise though, I didn't expect much, and I mean this in a good way. I like going into shows knowing as little as possible. It helps me enjoy what's actually on screen instead of measuring it against expectations I've created in my head. So I wasn't hoping for anything specific tonally. I didn't go into it thinking this needs to be super deep or this needs to reinvent the genre. I was open and curious, and for the first part of the premiere, that curiosity worked in its favor. The premise itself of Be My Angel is very solid. We follow Jane, who's unlucky in pretty much every aspect of her life and decides to use a Lucky Points app to wish for a better future. She wants success in business and love. Instead, she ends up with Z, a completely underqualified angel with zero skills. On paper, I like this. It's whimsical, it has room for emotional depth, and it has the potential to explore themes of loneliness, desire, and connection through a supernatural lens. Let's start with the positives because there are things I genuinely like here. First, the visuals. The series is really beautiful. Everything is bright, colorful, and polished, and you can tell that the goal is to create a light, cheerful atmosphere that supports the comedy. Visually, it 100% succeeds. It really feels intentional with everything they've done as far as world building and set design. Second is the core story. At its heart, Be My Angel actually has a good premise. The idea of an imperfect angel being forced into proximity with someone who's already frustrated with life is compelling, and in my opinion, the leads do have chemistry, so I'm excited to see their growth. But the biggest pro for me in Be My Angel is its representation. It is refreshing to see a lead pairing that isn't just a typical femme-femme relationship. We have a soft butch presenting woman paired with a more traditionally femme character, which is still rare to see in Thai GLs. I think the last non-femme-femme relationship I personally engaged with in Thai media is Yes or No from years ago. I don't know if a lot of you would remember that, but I think that was probably one of the first pieces of Thai media along with Hormones is what I think I consumed before getting into proper GLs. Representation isn't just about queer characters on screen, it's about who gets to be centered and desired and whose stories are treated as romantic. The constant default to femme-femme pairings doesn't reflect the full reality of the lesbian community. So seeing that shift here matters, and I'm grateful to the creators of Be My Angel for having the courage to do something different. So when did I realize the show wasn't fully working for me? Honestly, it was about halfway through the premiere. That's when it started to feel like it was dragging. Not because nothing was happening, but because too much was happening in the wrong way. The comedy aspect of the series became relentless, and this is where we get into my main issue. Be My Angel is billed as a comedy, and that's fine. I like comedy, but this particular brand of comedy just isn't for me. The biggest issue is the editing. The series doesn't allow moments to breathe. There are constant sound effects, visual gags, exaggerated reactions layered on top of the already written jokes, which in my opinion makes the experience feel cluttered. It's like the series doesn't trust the script or the audience to find things funny on their own. The humor isn't coming from character interactions as much as it's being forced through post-production choices. The script also tries very hard to be funny all the time. And again, that's not inherently bad, but for me, it became distracting when combined with all the post-production editing. I personally don't enjoy comedies that are constantly trying to land a joke every few seconds. I'd say a comedy drama like Somewhere Somehow is probably my limit. It's funny, yes, but it knows when to pull back. Be My Angel doesn't really do that, at least not yet. So where does that leave me? Be My Angel isn't a bad series. It's also not one I'm in love with. I think if you're someone who enjoys high energy, exaggerated comedy, this might really work for you. But if you're more drama leaning like I am, you might find the pacing and humor overwhelming or underwhelming based on how you look at it. I'm still curious though about how the series will progress, and I see that it has the potential to be great. So with that being said, I will still be tuning in. I also genuinely appreciate what the show is trying to do, especially in terms of representation. So for now, I'm somewhere in the middle, and honestly, I really hope that's okay. But yeah guys, let me know your thoughts on the premiere of Be My Angel. Do you like this brand of comedy? Will you be watching the series? And as always, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed my ramblings, I invite you to like and subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye!